Skinner, Dean and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
I'm Frank Skinner. I'm on Absolute Radio.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm with Emily Dean. I'm with Alan Cochrane. You can text our little show on 8 12 15. Follow the show on the Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or you can email the show. Do you remember those? Via the Absolute Radio website. There you have it. The information is out there. Do with it as you wish.
I like your reference to the Twitter.
Yes.
You've already upset Sarah on the show this morning. You said pink iPad, false nail, sums up modern Britain.
Well, there's no hint of criticism in that.
You can't go out saying that to people,
Sound
Frank.
that way, though, didn't it?
Well, isn't it nice to symbolise modern Britain?
Yeah, but I could do that Hawaiian shirt, sums up 50s Britain. That's you this
there you
morning.
go. Well, yeah. Fine. No, I think that's all right. Nails, pink iPad cover, or other tablets are available. Then that is modern Britain for me. But am I saying there's anything wrong with that?
Well, you left that suitably vague, didn't you?
Yes, exactly. I mean, what are you people, anti-modern Britain? You make me sick, you snobs. So anyway, speaking of being...
Snobs?
Well, speaking of hating modern Britain, it was Glastonbury weekend last weekend, and I thought it's about time I went to a festival.
No.
You didn't go to Glastonbury.
No, I went to the Chalk Valley History Festival in Salisbury.
For you.
Yeah, I can't go anywhere where they might say the word yay.
Yay.
I can't have that. I used to like hooray, I used to enjoy that as a young man. But now, yay, I think.
You're not a fan of that?
Whoa, yay, where did it come from?
What about way hey? Where do you stand on way hey?
Way hey's all right.
Yeah.
Way hey!
You get a lot of way hey, don't you?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, well, I've built a career on that.
He likes that because it's a bit 70s variety show.
Yeah, also it's a bit of a celebration of rudeness.
Yes.
Post-rudeness has happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo?
So, yo...
YOLO.
Well, I think it's impossible now to use yo in a non-ironic way, isn't it?
Okay.
So that's all right. Anyway, let's not make me out to be some sort of language bigot.
Okay.
So I was in Chalk Valley, and it's a history festival, as I say. So lots of people who are keen on history gather together, and there's talks.
Sounds brilliant.
It is great.
No, it does.
I tell you what, there's a lot of.
Must have bad hair.
A lot of people have
Sandals.
deliberately bad hair because there's a lot of reenactors.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I love a reenactor.
I mean, lots of reenactors. So, I walked across the field. There was a medieval knight, and he was standing next to Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and there was a Spitfire flying overhead.
What?
Yeah, it was like people have thought to themselves, you know what? We're too passive human beings. We allow ourselves to be born in some period or other, but now we're going to pick our period, and so that's what they've done. They've decided where they're going to come from historically, and they were all
Good
there.
A-list, though, Frank.
Yeah, I think it might have been a Victorian chimney sweep, but I'm pretty certain it was a slightly moddy Isambard Kingdom Brunel. He had the stovepipe.
How are the footwear? Because the problem with the reenactors, I always find, is that they let themselves down with the footwear. They've
So
got-
true.
Is there a Reebok trainer with the
got the
chainmail?
costume, yeah, and then a Donny shoe, like from Sport Direct, because they know it's going to get muddy or something.
Any fancy dress, I think it's always it's best. I like to just keep it above the shin. You know, I've seen cosplay. I've seen some Doctor Who cosplayers and stuff. You think, oh, that's a really good trainers. You know what I mean? So no, I didn't look down there. I think I'm pretty confident that the man in the medieval armour didn't have a pair of suede slip-ons on.
He didn't have minicab driver slip-ons.
No, but yeah, it's you're right. That it's the footwear.
Yes.
Why don't we start a business, fancy dress footwear, where we just do the shoes?
It's
I
time
think
one of
that's-
your plans became an actual business on
Yeah.
this show.
But that one,
You're so right.
that would then we could we could have like little dealerships with fancy dress things all around the.
It's ghosts in Adidas gazelles.
Do you remember that
I won't
guy?
have it.
You know Lauren.
Did you?
Lauren Harris.
Harris, yeah.
He used to be, when I met her, she was James Harris. And her dad ran a fancy dress.
Yes, he sued the government, didn't he?
Do you say her dad if this happened before? It's complicated.
I think it's her.
Still her dad.
No, it's her.
So her dad sued the government for mismanaging the economy. But one of the things he was accused of, and he was accused of setting fire to his own fancy dress shop.
Really?
For the insurance money. And he was... He did it dressed as Zorro, so he wouldn't be recognised.
Is that right?
Well, I'm pretty sure
It was alleged.
Can I say yes? I may be wrong about that. If he's listening, I don't want him coming around my house with a scabbard,
No.
or even a scab soft.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've been talking about footwear and fancy dress footwear, and
Yes.
really how people tend to get it wrong. But Ian Angle, one of our regulars,
I think his name's Angel.
I know,
Okay.
It's a pun. It's a pun on Angel.
but I think our listeners are called listeners rather than readers, but has that ever stopped us?
Good point. Good point.
Frank, would it be okay if a Robert Louis Stevenson reenactor wore platform shoes? What does that mean?
Robert Louis Stevenson, platform shoes. I don't get it.
I don't either. If anyone does get it, text us
I
on
feel
8 12
Did Robert
15.
Louis Stevenson have anything to do with the train? Is it a train platform thing?
Kidnapped, he wrote, didn't he?
Oh,
Treasure Island? Platform?
this is entertaining radio.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
Exactly.
8,
Yes.
12, 15 for the answer.
if my boyfriend doesn't get this, because he is very bright, as you know, Frank, I'll be very disappointed.
He is, yeah.
Yes. Can I make it clear, by the way, I'm not mocking the reenactors at the thing.
No.
I like the fact that people dress up as historical figures
So
at the
do I.
weekends. I think it's
Yeah.
marvellous. Though someone said...
Like it, it's hot.
I was telling someone that I was
Really?
impressed by people, so many people are just like, up the pub or watching the telly, and that some people have decided to dress as a Norman peasant instead. And they said to me, yeah, they seem a nice lot. They said, I'm not sure about the Nazis. And I thought, that's a sentence you don't hear that often, is it? That sort of slightly laid back. I'm not sure about the Nazis. But apparently there were, I didn't see them, there were some Nazi reenactors there.
Yeah.
You do worry about the motivation for getting involved in that group.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Stevenson's
It's not a very
rocket.
welcoming look.
Stevenson's rockets, someone's saying.
No, but that's a different Stevenson.
different
You're getting your
Stevenson,
Stevensons mixed up.
Yes. What, Pamela Stevenson wore platforms on Strictly? Is that what the joke is?
Can I
No,
just
don't be
say-
ridiculous.
719 has text station platforms. Excellent, as if I've covered that as a possibility.
Yeah, but
we've
Robert
still
Louis
not-
Stevenson got a train once.
Yeah.
We don't even know that for
What if
certain.
Ian Angle, yes, I'm persisting with Angle, for the first time in his life has decided to go pun-free?
Oh,
And
that's
he's just
a-
asking, because he's planning on dressing as RLS. Yes, I'm going RLS.
And he's
And he
asking
thinks
about
he might
platform.
have a 70s
Maybe.
glam rock vibe with it, and
No.
is that okay?
Look, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He might send in the explanation, the footnote, the key to this joke, and we might all kill ourselves laughing.
Well, he best hurry.
I feel sorry for him if he's made an error.
Oh.
Oh, imagine how he feels at home now. Poor Ian.
Someone's saying he invented the train platform, but then there's like 7 question marks, so I'm not sure that's
He
fact.
invented Robert Louis Stevenson said, hold on, I think
it's a guess. I
Just
think
put
it's one
Long
of those
John
guesses.
Silver to one side. I've got British Rail on there. Well, couldn't you have some sort of raised dais that they stand on for when the
Raised
train
dais?
pulls up? Yeah, try that. I don't know what to call them. Anyway, my wife's having her hair done. I'm just watching the platform. What did you say? Oh, yeah, use that if you like. There you are, a little slice from the life of Robert Louis Stevenson.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I think we've got to the bottom of Stevenson Gate.
Well, I think we're going to have to call it Angle Gate
Yes.
this morning.
There's probably such a thing as an angle gate. I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
yeah. Sounds very
Well, 7:40.
I should explain the background if you're a new reader. Ian Angle texts us most weeks.
Who is actually called Ian Angel, but we like saying
Is he
Angle.
definitely called Ian Angle?
No, don't ruin it. It's Angle.
Okay, anyway, so he'll always be Angle to us. He
Sends quality puns, doesn't he?
He's a pun expert, and he sends in puns every week. Often very good ones, and we've read him out many times. So this week he sent in... I'm talking about opening a shop which just supplies shoes to fancy dress to supplement. I'm going to call them corrective shoes, because they're correcting otherwise damaged fancy dress outfits that have got trainers.
Can't imagine there being any confusion there.
No, exactly. So Ian sent in the message. I think I can call him Ian after all these years.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "What was? Do we have the actual quote?"
You were telling it so like he was a friend of yours. I thought you were going to say. So he turned around and said,
"Yeah." So he said, "What if Robert Louis Stevenson had platform shoes?" I like to think I'm pretty quick on a pom, but I couldn't. He'd lost me.
No one knew.
It turns out now I think he's confessed, hasn't he?
Well, we've had this news just in from Angle. He says, "Frank, you guessed it. I meant the Stevenson's rocket bloke."
Yes, George.
He says 1-1 now, as you thought Marconi invented the light bulb.
See, I really like the confession, but then he's turned really quite a different piece of thing to try and make it like. No, I'm sorry.
Scorpion.
I think you have to bear your shame.
Catholic by any chance? 673.
We might never hear from him again now. I think he's a broken man.
673 says, I think Mr. Angle meant George Stephenson, inventor of the steam train, nothing to do with Treasure Island.
I'll tell you what he isn't this morning. He isn't a right angle.
No.
Oh, Frank,
he'll love that. I was suggesting that he might be so upset that he actually hanged himself, and that all he would leave as a suicide note would just say Ian Hangle. But they said don't say that because it's a bit of a dark subject, and I said don't worry, I won't say it on air. So it's a good job. Live? Did you say?
Someone has tried to save him though. 426.
I'm trying to save him.
426 has texted RLS. Let's call RLS
Robert Louis Stevenson.
Yes. Wrote a poem called "From a Railway Carriage."
Don't give him an out clause.
You gotta.
Don't give him an inch.
No. That's good, though. That's good.
I think that's good help.
What I love... I'm going to imagine that they knew that without looking it up.
Yeah.
That would be lovely if they did.
Mm.
And we've got a suggestion for the name of your shop, Frank, your shoe costume shop.
Okay.
671 has suggested Souls of the Damned.
Yes, now this
Keep
is...
it light.
This is, yes, I suppose, presuming that everyone who's famous enough to be fancy dressed is in hell.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Again, it's been a dark link, this, in many ways. But here's the thing. Yes, so here's the shop. We were pointing out that fancy dress costumes often fail at the footwear. So I'm going to open a fancy dress shop that just sells the shoes for fancy dress. It needs a punning title. This is Angle's chance to get back. But all of you, what should be the name of my fancy dress shoe shop? What's yours?
Oh, do you want me to do it now or do it another
Hold
time?
your high horses.
We'll do it later while you have a chance to think of one that you're pretending you've got.
I've got one.
No, too late now.
Me up,
Go on then.
What about shoddy history? You know, because it's footwear, shod, well shod.
And it's a well-known phrase, shoddy history.
Well, it's quite well known. It makes sense.
You're right, though, because that's encouraged them now to think, oh, well, I can do better than that. See, I used to shoot them down with a couple of blitzers early, but no, this is the right way.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We're talking about if I open a shop where we supplement people's fancy dress, particularly historical fancy dress outfits with the right shoes.
But you began this as a shared business. You said we should open a fancy dress, and now you're saying if I should, it's become you.
Okay.
It's all going to be a sole trader, if you don't mind me saying.
To be honest,
Can you give me some respect for that?
That's very good. That's very good. I'm just worried that Alan ultimately hasn't got the money. to equally contribute.
Horrible.
He's a bit down at heel.
Lovely.
I was going to go on Dragon's Den and get my share.
What about this for a title? I've had a thought. This is a bit more, because I said fancy dress. So
Could it be better than Shoddy History, do you think?
This is for this is
Shoddy History's a bit depressing.
So this is shoes, like, for historical reenactors. This is, and the name of the shop is Pasties.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What do you think?
No, it's terrible.
Because there's a type of shoe called a pasty.
Yeah, like a...
I just don't like it.
Oh, shut up. So
you
what about
can't be that aggressive every time someone just doesn't find you funny.
I can. What do you mean? You take that back.
25 years practice of that.
Okay, so what
Do you want
about
the suggestions?
Yes,
okay,
please.
we've got a few. 418, fancy footwork.
That's all right, yeah, because it's fancy dress.
I've had better, I've had worse.
That's all right.
You could call the shop Step Back. Step Back.
Backward step would be better, wouldn't it?
Would it?
But I think the problem is here is that we're historical.
You don't say backward step in time, do you? You say step back in time, don't you?
No, but you do say, that's a bit of a backward step.
792, how about soul searching? I'm no Ian Angle. Oh.
No, soul searching, yeah, but I suppose if you...
Well, if you went into business with Sol Campbell...
Yeah, and then he went missing. Yeah? Which, you wouldn't say was impossible.
No. We've got some other ones, Frank. We've got Frankie Dress.
That's good.
Do you like that?
Frankie Dress.
That's from Simon Heddo.
That is good.
Karen McWatty, Frankie's Funky Feet. Sounds a bit euphemistic. And then we've got... someone has suggested focusing on trench coats and berets, Franks and Spencer. That's not shoes.
I'll tell you what, though. I had an email this week from 2 women. And,
here we go. It's all gone a bit Alan Clark.
No, it's not those 2 women. From 2 women, and they're a double act, comedy double act, and they're doing Edinburgh this year. And they said, we wanted to put your picture on the poster as part of a disclaimer. And they are called Lizzie Franks and Noreen Skinner.
Oh.
So they're called Franks and Skinner.
Oh.
So they wanted to put a picture on that says, this man has got nothing to do with our show, sort of thing, which I thought was quite a comical idea.
Yeah.
So have you given them permission?
Yes, I have. Good luck to them. But it did make me...
I'll say, with your face on the poster.
And they got a plug out of it as well.
I suppose so. Yeah, good luck to them. And it did remind me, though, I think for the first... I had a mate at school called Frenchie Saunders. And I think for the first time I understood what he had to go through.
Yeah.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I think we've come up with... We found it, the name for your fancy dress...
Shoe shop.
Shoe shop.
Okay.
Tony Bannister. I like him. He sounds like a 70s scriptwriter. He has come up with one. Frank Skinner's Fancy Dress Shop.
Yeah,
That's
I'm happy
all right.
with that.
It's not going to be better, is it?
That reminds me of a caption competition, I remember. I think it was back in the 80s or 90s, and it was a picture of Garth Crooks, the footballer.
Oh, I know Garth.
And he was sort of doing a handstand on the football pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And the caption that won it was Garth Crooks. So yeah, it's from that the same school as that.
We've also had the suggestion from Craig. How about back to the suture?
Yeah.
Although it does sound a bit like suture, doesn't it? So it's gone a bit more medicinal.
What is a suture?
It's a stitch, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, no.
We've had enough of these now. We love them, but...
I'll tell you, on the shoe, the subject of shoes, I tried a couple of pairs of shoes on this week, and I found it very difficult.
To get them on.
Well, there seems to be a method of lacing that happens in a shoe shop that doesn't bear any practical application in the outside world.
Right,
What do they do exactly when they lace it in a shoe shop?
So tight, isn't it?
It's so tight.
So tight.
And also, it was a very standard method. You used to get two pieces of lace coming out the top the same length. They're coming from the same side. What you get is a little thin thing, and then it's not even in a hole, that last bit, and then it seems to be coming from the same side as the other. Rubbish.
Was a Roman sandal that you were trying on, though, wasn't it? So you had to do that lacing around your calf thing.
I've seen a lot of that. They're
it's my fashion.
They're in at the moment.
The gladiator sandal.
On
Oh,
trends.
they're all the go.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen lots of women in there.
All the go. It's like working with Albert Tatlock.
Yes. I won 10 quid on it. I know, I won about 50 quid on Albert Tatlock once.
I won't ask how.
No. It involved him having to die before Leonid Brezhnev in a betting competition with some friends.
God.
Anyway, so you would think, wouldn't you, if I had to write a list now of communities in the country who would know how to lace shoes, you would think people who work in shoe shops would be quite...
Yeah.
They'd be up there, wouldn't they? They'd be Champions League position.
Yeah, yeah.
They, in fact, are relegation zone.
Really?
If there's anyone listening who works in a shoe shop, actually, you'd probably be working in a shoe shop at this time. No, you wouldn't. You'd be all right. Can you just tell me what it's about? What on earth?
How are they going to answer that?
Is that really today's texting?
It's as if you work in a shoe shop. It's terrible. They used to be our allies, shoelaces. You know what I mean? They used to help us. Now they're like evil doormen keeping us out.
I like the idea of
they're
someone...
like Hale and Pace.
I like someone on the idea of the 10-minute break at the moment. Saying, I'm just going to text into Frank Skinner to tell him what it's all about.
Well, I don't know how it is across the country. I find in London, you're lucky if you can get a shoe shop open before, 10?
Yeah.
On a Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, they're lazy, the shoe industry.
On a Saturday. So
Well, they're too
doing
busy.
this show every Saturday for 5
It takes
years.
them 2.5 hours to lace a pair of shoes up. What did you say?
You say on a Saturday, 10, as if you're trying to buy shoes on Saturdays. You've been doing this show on Saturday mornings for 5 years.
I'm not buying shoes anymore. Slip-ons for me now.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
My boyfriend's got a good one.
I've heard that.
Oh,
God. He suggested for your shoe shop, I would call it Sling Back to the Future.
That's good.
And he did send that, I noticed, prior to the other person who mentioned whatever he
Back to
mentioned.
the future.
Yeah.
So loyal.
Very good.
Yes.
Nice to hear, isn't it?
Did I tell you I went to a quilt exhibition?
No.
Oh, I did. What else were we going to talk about? No,
Is
I
that
did.
it?
I went.
Is
No,
that
I
all
went.
you got on
I
it?
had no idea that quilts were. You know, that making quilts is quite an activity.
Funny time of year for it, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They didn't look like they ought to be on a bed. They weren't. They didn't. They were like slim quilts.
Small tog, not a big tog.
Lots of local women had gathered together and made quilts and put them together. It was
Not going to
beautiful.
get
It was
much
tribal.
business at the moment.
Tribal.
It felt like. Yeah, do you think so? Well, it was more of a. I mean,
People are sleeping naked.
You could use it as, and here's a word I've always loved. You could use it as a throw.
Oh,
I love that. The fact that something is called a throw because you throw it over.
I love a throw.
Oh, beautiful. In fact, I'm going to open a shop that sells throws. I'm going to call it Game of Throws.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
What do you think?
Or throws of passion.
Oh.
Because you love throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
I would worry about throws of passion. It
Would
just
you?
feels like your friends in the S&M community might hang out there.
Yes.
Hang out there.
It did remind me, though, that our Nora, who's my sister, her and her boyfriend, when they were saving up to get married, do you remember when people used to do that? They stayed in a lot to save money, and what they did was they bought a rug kit, and they used to sit together and make a rug. So, have you ever seen them? They're like sort of plastic trellis work, and then you thread the little individual bits of wall through the
Is
hole.
that right?
It's a long and tedious job.
Yeah.
But you have the telly on, a cup of tea, and you're in love. It's fine. And then that rug...
Those bits sound all right, but the plastic rug making bit sounds less good.
Well,
Yeah.
that becomes the base of the rug.
Right.
I'd love to hear, by the way, if anyone's got any unusual hobbies at home. Because I think rug making...
Like rug making.
Yeah, but there's trendy ones now, like, baking and stuff.
Well, the
like
cross stitch is trendy.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Cross
it?
stitch. Yeah, that's fashionable. They all do it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't know. You look at me like you don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
Right, when you have a cushion and there's something written on it.
Yeah.
When
Sweet
you have
Home or-
exactly. That's cross stitching.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Get off my
embroidery,
couch
yeah.
or something like
Oh.
that. Yeah.
You should have seen Emily's clutch the other
Yes.
night.
How dare you?
Well, I have to say I've never seen one quite like it. There was no giving it at all.
None.
What mate was that clutch you had? Hello.
She's gone.
No, she had a remarkable clutch. It had.
Did she?
what
It
did
had
say?
naughty written all over
It had
it.
naughty
Did
on
it?
the front of it, and
It literally had it written all over it.
and it was hard. It was like a hard.
And everyone was
case.
passing it round.
Well, it was. I'd never seen a clutch. I'm used to the tiny little, material clutch, but that clutch, it looked like it was made of mother of pearl. Do you know the mother of pearl?
No, I don't.
It's a big woman, but she's kind-hearted.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Alan Cochrane went to see the Alice in Wonderland musical by Damon Albarn and really enjoyed it. Am I right?
I did, yes.
There you go. You'll have guessed from that exchange that I'm with Alan Cochrane. I'm also with Emily Dean. Three of us on the microphones. You can text our...
Microphones.
We're on the microphones, aren't we?
Watch us wreck the mic.
You
It's
can,
a live broadcast from Alexandra Palace.
yes, this is the beep beep. No, it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. You can text the show on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. We've had a lot of emails, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, we've had a lot about shoelaces and historical shoes.
Oh, have we got to the bottom of the why shoelaces are so rubbish in, of all places, shoe shops?
We have, yeah. Helen has emailed, driving to work to open up my shoe shop in stitches listening to you. 3 exclamation marks. We don't normally read
In
praise, but it's in
sutras.
part of it.
Sutras.
It's just as annoying for us. They all come in already laced up in a weird way, so I have to adjust them before I give them to a customer. It's not our fault. And then she's got 3 emoticons, which are smiley
So hold on.
faces.
So I was
Yeah.
saying that in my list of people who I thought could tie laces, people in shoe shops would be in the Champions League
Yeah.
position. Also in that top 4, I would say, would be manufacturers of shoes.
Yeah.
Turns out that these two are...
They're-
So the shoe shops just can't be bothered to
It's a
relace them.
two-headed beast.
Yes. But I said to the doctor about it, he said just leave it. Anyway, so that's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah. They're coming out of the
Can't get in,
factories.
can't
Is
get
that
in.
the problem? They're coming out of the factories.
But they're not laced by machines. If they were laced by machines, they'd be better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Stick to the slip-on.
I've got a... I am.
Frank.
I'm going to have to. I've got a horrible vision of a sweatshop with people lacing them.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, that's
Anyway,
that's ruined that. hasn't it?
none of that. What else? What else have we heard about?
Well, I'll tell you what we've heard about. We've heard about Wimbledon.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Because as you may know...
It's getting quite a lot of coverage.
Well, it is. And I was there yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But
Lovely.
we've actually had an email. Do you remember, Frank?
have we
You
ever?
were talking... I know we haven't switched over to the corner, but just to give you a bit of background info, if people don't remember, you were talking about a specific type of tennis shot, weren't you?
Oh, well, yeah. I played tennis in Whitstable recently, and I hit the ball. It went high in the air, bounced the other side of the net, and then it bounced back onto my side without the other person being able to touch it. And we had a long debate about whether it was my point or not, or whether it had to be played again.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened at Wimbledon. I missed
It
this.
actually happened.
It happened, and about 4,000 people have emailed us about it.
That's
thinking it's
lovely. Isn't it lovely that
your
people
suggestion, yeah.
people could be
Yeah.
bothered? Thank you all. We won't read them all out.
No, but we had one from Luke, specifically, who says, Frank, Emily and Alan, looks like Frank has been coaching, I believe it's Gail Monfils, with the bounce back over the net shot winning this point.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes, he's provided us with a link, which obviously, as he says, won't translate well on radio, but you have to trust us.
Is there an advert on the front of it?
I don't know, Frank.
See, I've made a new resolution that if I put a YouTube, any sort of video, and there's an advert on the front, I don't watch it, even if it's something I really, really want to see.
What about if it's me and Dare the Triffids?
Oh, sorry, love. But, we have to fight capitalism together.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
So, Frank, we were reading Luke's email, and he has suggested that in honour of your rather brilliant observation, he says, I for one will now refer to the raised viewing area outside Wimbledon, formerly known as Henman Hill and Murray Mound, as Skinner Slope, in a one-man tribute to the originator of this forward-thinking and skillfully executed manoeuvre.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
No praise given, as it's not appreciated anyway. Luke. Thank you, Luke.
I like the way they feel they have to name that piece of whatever it is. I was watching the Heather Watson Serena Williams game last night, which was awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And I thought if she wins this, they should call it Heather's Hummock.
Hummock?
Yeah, hummock is, I remember from geology at school, was a small hill.
Is
Oh,
it?
yes.
But Heather's Hummock.
I did not know that. Did not know hummock.
Or if, as Serena won, they could call it Serena's raised area.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, we're all like that.
Yeah.
So I went there yesterday. I liked it. One thing I did find, though, I had got to explore the commentary box.
Oh.
Yes. Because my boyfriend was doing an interview for a rival radio station.
Oh, my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that.
Mention ISIS today.
I know, sorry. But it's tiny in there. It's like a borrower's commentary
boxes.
Yes, the radio.
Who was commentating when you went in?
Well, we had Pat Cash and Jeremy Bates.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Pat Cash was wearing nail varnish.
Yes.
You are having a
Jeremy
laugh.
Bates was having a go at him.
Did he
He
have a
said, I'll
checkered
take it off,
socks
mate,
on?
but don't have a go at me.
What do you mean he was wearing nail varnish? Is this his new look?
He had
I don't know, maybe it was a fancy dress.
Did he have a
maybe he was doing a reenactment.
full-length black leather coat on? And he said, anyway, I got to go see the Mission. I'm going to be a bit late.
Mission.
Yeah,
But
wow.
we watched, it wasn't very A-list, Richard Gasquet beats Dimitrov or something.
Yeah.
But you know what I decided? I liked
You
it.
find sports people are getting harder to pronounce than they used to be.
That's true, yeah.
1962, man.
Yeah.
But you know what I found, Frank, is that I kept saying, look, I just want to back the one who's winning, because then the sets are over a bit quicker.
Right.
I know that's not the right attitude, but it's just, if I back the one who's 2 sets behind, I'm going to be there till 8.
Well,
Yeah.
this is the plus of the women's tennis. It's 3 sets is plenty. It's enough for anyone.
I quite like the epic comeback.
Do you like the epic
I
comeback?
do like the epic comeback.
I haven't got time.
What about this? I was watching. Bear in mind that I've already this week seen the England football team, women, go out in injury time with an own goal. So it's looking like they were going to be in the World Cup final, and then that went wrong.
Yeah.
And now Heather Watson absolutely definitely about to beat Serena Williams, and then that goes wrong. I'm just starting to think we don't quite have it in this country anymore.
Oh, Frank.
No, and I'm gonna take that slogan. We don't quite have it in this country anymore. Put it on a photo with the nails and the pink iPad cover, and then I'm gonna put that around the country and see if we can rise up a bit of enthusiasm. So it was. She came off Heather Watson. I don't know. You didn't watch
I
it.
didn't see it. I was
Imagine how
travelling.
she felt. I mean, she was. It was 1 set each. I think she was three love up in the third set.
Oh, was she?
And I think she'd had 2 breaks of serve.
Yeah.
She had it in her grasp.
So it
get
was
to
all
3,
there.
yeah.
She was looking, and then she lost, and she was coming off the thing, and someone stopped her and asked her to do a selfie, and she actually did a selfie with this girl and smiled on
Wow.
the selfie. I thought,
That
wow,
is
that's why you'll never win anything.
Oh, 'cause she's
Whereas Serena just stormed past, she just won.
Yeah.
But she was very
too
gracious in victory. Serena.
Was she?
Yes, she was lovely.
Well, that's good.
She's got a lovely smile, Serena, don't you think?
I'm glad you said that.
Has she?
Oh, she has got a lovely smile. She looks... Because you think she's all tough and hard and, like, warrior-like, and then you think, oh,
There's
no.
a softness there.
Heart of gold.
Terry Wogan in the Royal Box yesterday.
Was he?
He had pole position.
Did he?
Just saying, yeah.
At his age.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We're talking about Wimbledon here on Absolute Radio. What about that?
Tennis time, innit? Tennis time.
Yes, not really talking about that. They chanted a bit at Heather Watson. They started trying to do a bit of chanting. It was rubbish.
How did it scan? Heather.
See, they're all
Heather.
essentially middle class. Most people are middle class or up at Wimbledon. But they can't put a good chant together. Whereas, you know, your football fans, woo,
Yeah.
with some really clever
Often
chants.
funny, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, really, if you was to take the phrase "come on" out of the language, nothing would be said hardly at all at Wimbledon.
That's true, yeah.
They just shout out.
Come on,
the name,
Tim!
don't they?
What did they shout then?
Well, they still shout, "Come on, Tim." That's
Heather.
always the comedy one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, they do that. Come on, Rafa, someone shouted last night. He's been out for 3 days.
I say, "Come on, Bjorn."
That's it. Nice.
Yes, it was...
What about Dreddy? He's caused something of a sensation.
oh, yes, I watched him. Oh,
Dustin Brown.
I wasn't happy with his outfit.
Well, I
Weren't you?
called him Dustin G by mistake,
Okay.
which was a bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
Had to be corrected.
Oh,
there aren't many
Dustin
famous Dustins.
So he's a German Rasta, is that the idea?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Love,
yes.
love and boundaries.
What about...
Hasn't he got the laid-back, you know, hey man attitude
Yeah.
of the Caribbean and then the firm organisation of the Germans?
I don't think he's got that bit. That's part of his problem.
Oh,
He's,
okay. Well, he
Well,
won.
he's the world one.
He did win.
He's 102 in the world. I'm
is.
probably 102 in the world. That's very low.
It is very
bet
low for
you
someone that did
if-
as well as he did. Yeah.
If we took British bobsleigh,
Yeah.
we're in the top 100 and I've never done it.
Yeah.
I bet you. I'm going to start putting that in
Uh-huh.
my CV. I'm in Who's Who, you know.
Are you?
I could put that in,
What are
top
you in?
100 British bobsleigh.
Are you in Who's Who as Frank Skinner? Not for any kind of obscure comedy reason that you were like...
What are you talking about?
I thought you might be in Who's
What are
Who
you
for
talking
some
about? It makes
weird...
sense, man. You can only be in Who's Who for being...
For who you are?
Yeah.
Oh, right, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They send you an update every year.
Do
So
they?
in case you've done anything that year. Obviously, there's people in there who haven't done anything for years.
Right.
But you update your Who's Who, so they say you're still... Because it's not who did you used to be, so you are now.
Right.
Oh, can't I mention this show on it?
Do you?
Do you?
That's in Who's Who.
Nice.
Yes.
Right, you expect us to be pleased.
It's exciting, isn't it? You're
I'll
nearly
take-
in Who's Who, that's what I'm telling you.
I'll take any mentions, love.
Yeah, celebrate.
So do you
So-
like this Dreddy character?
He's
got the tat.
He was handsome and all that.
Oh, handsome.
He had
You like-
Yes.
that tattoo.
Oh.
He's got a tattoo on his sort of rib cage.
Yes.
His torso, yeah.
Which he lifted up his shirt and tapped that. Wasn't it just a way of saying, "Hey, not only look at my fantastic physique, but hey, you can see the elastic on my pants." It was that
Yeah.
one of those.
Well, I'm
moments.
just saying I've got it on Sky Plus, never to be deleted.
Oh, how Diet Coke builder is that? Of course, we can't say stuff like that, Al.
No.
Oh.
No.
No. What about the tattoo, though? Did you think it was just him showing off his pants? Or...
Do you know who it was?
Isn't it his dad?
It's his dad.
Oh,
yeah.
isn't it
Yeah.
lovely?
Well, there
I
was,
thought it was Haile Selassie at first, but of course that was highly unlikely.
there was highly unlikely.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You should get a tattoo of your dad. That'd be good.
I've never known anyone with a tattoo of their dad on their stomach before.
No. No.
I
me
once
neither.
saw a shotgun a bloke showed me.
Yeah?
What was he called?
tattoo or an
What
actual
was he
shotgun?
called? Dix that used to play for West Ham.
Julian
Dix.
Julian Dix's shotgun, and it got engraved on the what would you call that part?
Barrel.
No, is it the barrel that you know? There's like the silver bit on a shotgun, the plate.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
yeah, let's go
He
with
got
the play.
his kids.
His kids' names on
no,
a s-
not the names. They're fake, actual like, images of them
On a shotgun?
On his shotgun. Yeah.
Who hasn't got that, though?
I haven't had that done yet.
Anyone I'd ever speak to?
Yeah, it was an interesting juxtaposition, I thought.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We're talking about
Dreddy.
Tennis.
Well, I'm talking about Dreddy.
Dustin Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Brown.
Dustin.
What about when one of the
Such
papers
a
said this was
dork's name,
certainly
and
no
it's so
dreadlocked holiday for Nadal?
Dreadlocked holiday.
Yeah.
Right.
But he wore a vest, which I didn't think you could wear.
Sleeveless. Is it more like a tank top?
It's like a singlet.
Yeah.
I like that Frank's suddenly gone very All England members enclosure.
Well, I do,
Yeah.
but that's the way it is. The thing is with Wimbledon, it's like a theme park, with the theme being like silly English poshness.
That's so true.
And you have to embrace that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's like old people in blazers going, out! And all that. And that's
A lot
just
of
the
that.
way it is. And all the strawberries and cream stuff. It's like a ridiculous...
Yes.
They're reenactors. They're reenacting like the 1920s posh England.
Yeah.
And that's fine, that's what it is, so you've got to join in with that. Like, Federer was moaning about, this thing that you can only wear white, it's ridiculous. But they're only moaning because, A, they all really want to look like sexy and cool now, but also they want to get their clothing range.
Oh, the endorsements, Frank. Yeah.
He's got the worst logo, that Roger Federer logo.
Such a 2015 conversation.
So,
Oh, I hate that. Is that the best he could come with? RF, written a bit wispily.
yeah.
Oh.
It's up there with the London Olympics.
I saw that
World Wildlife Fund, that's a good one. The panda.
it's a good
Oh, that's Logo Heaven. If I had a show called Logo Heaven, World Wildlife Fund.
logo heaven.
Yeah.
Sounds like a gripping watch. Where's my Sky Plus biffer?
Federer, that's the best Federer can do.
All right.
It's all right. It's a bit old school hotel, isn't
You
it?
can imagine thinking, that's very clever. Yes, we like it.
I saw that, there's another British guy, not Murray, there's another British
that?
guy that's
Yes.
gone through.
Ward, you think?
Ward, that's it. Now, most of the tennis players wear, perhaps a Nike shirt or a Puma or an Adidas.
Yeah.
Sean Hop.
He had on
Trying to get free.
Ted Baker. He had Ted Baker.
Nothing wrong with Ted Baker.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it for a night out, but he's playing tennis at Wimbledon. It looked like he was dressed
Well, you see,
on his
the
way to a
sports
stag do or something.
The sports people are getting their own back because there's all
Yes.
these fat people walking around England in sportswear, and they must
Yeah.
be thinking, I'll tell you what, then I'm going to play at Wimbledon. I might wear a suit if I get through to the
Wear
first
some
round.
going out wear.
Frank, imagine if you got through and you wore a suit. Oh, I'd love
White,
that.
as long as it was white, I think it would be
White
allowed.
suit?
True.
If
Yeah.
I just went out there in a white suit and a
Federer
tie,
did warm up once in a suit jacket thing.
Frank in a white linen
Strange,
suit.
weird
what
thing.
with the terrible RF on it?
Yeah. With his wispy RF on it.
Terrible aura.
Did he think? He honestly thought that was good. He's brilliant at tennis, Roger
Speaks
Federer.
like 5
But you feel
languages.
everything else. He's probably just.
He should have his car customised with the terrible RM.
I don't know if I'd want to row the Atlantic with him. I don't know if he'd be great company.
Would you not?
No, he'd be
Most
good.
tennis players wouldn't be. Dreddy, that's a different matter.
Oh no, Dreddy would keep making me go to things I didn't want to go to. Parties.
There'd be less room as well in the boat. It'd be massive.
No, but
Is he a bit phone parties, Dreddy?
Don't go home yet. Yeah, another 2 hours.
Is that his German accent?
I presume that's how he talks, is it? It seems a bit wrong, doesn't it, with the old...
It's good for doing
His
impressions of it, though, isn't it?
parents gave him a VW camper van.
love... Let's get together and be alright.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I was just going to read you a little text message. Tennis doesn't usually interest me, but I love a bit of Wimbledon. However, I would like to see a ban on the Wimbledon fist pump, especially when they get replayed in slow motion.
Yes,
What about
yeah.
when combined with "Come on"?
I think we should just all agree that that's not good telly anymore, isn't it?
They did
They can't do
They
that.
did it throughout, and they did because Serena, when she won a point, was really sort of going. "Ah!" I mean, I thought, wow, calm down, love.
Yeah, she goes quite
Calm
medieval.
down,
No,
dear.
but he said, the commentator said,
May rest in
she's
peace.
actually going to hurt her.
Girlfriend's gone wild.
Yeah, it was like she wasn't.
Girlfriend's out of
It
control.
sounded like it was hurting her throat.
Oh, really?
But
She did applaud Heather's shot on the tennis racket, which I liked.
She did do that, but I love it when the snooker players does that. Just tap the table.
Oh, nice.
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
But they had slow-mos of Serena punching the air, and then they had slow-mos of Heather punching the air. They really thought, oh, this is passion.
Oh, it's just for the boys, those slow-mos, isn't it?
And then they have a shot of someone in the crowd looking really involved. There was one bloke who was sort of biting his nails, and you just saw him just have a look at the camera, and I thought,
He was probably paranoid that his mum was watching, and she's spent all her life saying, "Stop biting your nails." And he's like,
if his mum was watching, she was too old to say anything. So I watched Maria Sharapova.
Oh, did you?
I'll bet you did.
Yeah, oh, come on.
How did you find her?
She played Pengu? She played Pingu.
Oh, Pingu.
She played Pingu.
He's the world 102.
He's no good on grass. He's all right on ice, but on grass, he's rubbish. No, I think she was called Bigu. And I tell you, they both wore those hats. You know those sort of... they're not really hats. They're like...
visors.
They're like the Great Dane wears in that... You know, in that dog picture when they're playing Paul, the famous dog.
They're like visors.
The Great Dane's got a visor on.
It's like they work in newspaper offices back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Or they worked in a poker. Do you know when you see people playing... is it roulette where they have like a rake to get the chips? Yeah, one of those.
Excellent.
But she has got.
Oh, here we go.
No, but this is something that you don't hear said about the attractive women. I'm a very big fan of the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, it doesn't seem to be. It's a body part that's been left behind in the attraction.
Shoulder.
In the beauty stakes.
Yes, she has got Sharapova shoulders.
Are they good, are they?
No, that's the Russian player she was playing. Sharapova shoulder.
Well, the collarbone is very in this season.
But they keep going. I mean, they're a parrot's dream. If she had a parrot...
Oh, she could have a whole line of them
the
on there.
room it would have.
Could have a family.
Be like
Don't mention that to Ian Angle.
Honestly,
it's all a bit of a sore point this morning.
It'd be like a 3-bedroom flat for a parrot. They just keep going, though, honestly. Brilliant. Oh, I want to ask you something about the rules, by the way.
We're the people to ask.
Well, you know, after my fabulous self-return shot, my auto volley, then I've got another query.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What happened? You have to talk. That's the job.
Yeah, but we are going to.
You know, but we have expectations to talk.
You were discussing the shoulder, and we've had a text from John in Telford. A girl I used to work with once asked me if I thought she had a sexy neck, and he's got an exclamation mark there.
But I think next...
Sounds like she was flirting.
I think, yeah, maybe, unless she was...
I think my neck's my best point.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh, I've never really noticed your neck. Why don't you wear your hair up, then?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cover it with your hair.
Okay.
Don't be so bashful, Emily.
Okay, I'll put it up in a bun like a Victorian cook.
What's my best physical point, I wonder?
You've got good calf muscles, haven't you? You've got a good pair of legs on you, haven't you?
Thanks, Al.
It's all right. You
know what? You've got lovely hands.
Yeah, but hands is not very good. I could do that hand modelling.
I've got nice hands too, but
I work as a medieval. I'm a medieval teeth double in films.
Wow! Do you know what, Frank Dreddy's got a green tooth?
You got a green tooth?
Something you share, you and him.
Has he got a red one as well?
I don't know, but he's got a green one.
He hasn't got red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Ooh. Have I added that bit? Is that the original?
I don't remember the Doberman Pinscher coming to the studio.
What in it? Sunshade? Whose shot is he? Of course, they can only see in black and white dogs. It'd be a rubbish game.
Good point.
Right, what about... Sorry.
We've also had a text on the subject of the tennis and actually on beauty to a certain extent. Hi, Frank.
Lovely.
This time last year you mentioned that you wanted to be with the flat-stomach Djokovic crew. How's that going?
How's that working out for you, love?
It's true. I watched Al Murray and did he play Djokovic last year?
Al Murray.
Al Murray.
He's everywhere.
Andy Murray.
He ran for MP. He tried to win Wimbledon.
I've never watched Andy Murray.
That guy.
Did he wear the
He needs to
purple
just-
blazer whilst he played?
Yes, I watched
That was his
His
logo.
ambition a bit.
I watched Al Murray and thought, I wish I'd got a lovely flat stomach like that. Well, look at. I'm going to show my. What do you think?
He's getting his tongue out.
What do you think?
No,
Goodness me, that's pretty
it's
flat.
not half bad.
It's not too bad,
It
is it?
really isn't.
all right.
For a man of your years,
Well, exactly.
I
Have you
think
been
you're in very
secretly
good
working
nick.
on that for
A
12
lot of men
months?
my age haven't got a stomach. It's
What
all
do you
done. It's
mean?
all done by a machine. So you know, let's give thanks for small mercies.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, the talking thing.
Well,
Let's not
it's-
forget that.
Well, it's the top of the hour, love,
Crossed
and
the
yeah.
hour, so
Oh,
usually you
sorry,
do.
it's
Oh,
my
I love
fault.
it
My
when you're
fault.
wrong. I love it when you're wrong.
I've held my hand up basketball style.
You've had an Ian Angle moment.
Oh no, it's not that humiliating. So you can. This is the Frank Skinner Show. I'm him. They're them. Emily
Them.
Dean and Alan Cochrane.
Nice.
Text the show on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
And we've actually received an email about Andy Murray apparently has got a logo. You
Oh, he's got a logo now.
you took
Yes.
Federer's logo to task, didn't you?
You did.
You mocked
It's just
it. You used some of your...
He should have called me. I could have done a
Caustic
better
humour.
logo in
Really?
2 minutes. I could have written it and scanned it, sent it back to him.
Where is this email? Oh, here it is. Andy Murray's logo. It's entitled, Hi Frank,
Andy
Emily and
Murray's
Alan."
loco. If you ask me.
That's a good band name, Andy Murray's logo.
Did you know that Andy Murray unveiled his new logo at the beginning of the year? No, I did not. It incorporates his initials and the number 77, a reference to his Wimbledon title. I thought it was the number of years we will have to wait until another Brit wins, ...
Hey.
So is the
Well, that's
77 how many years we had to wait until he
I
won?
think so, yeah.
Until a Brit won
Yeah.
again.
From
Odd
one to
thing
the-
to put in your logo.
How arrogant.
I'm going to
Is
bring
it?
out a logo that basically disses British tennis.
I thought,
Well, also,
Well, you know
it's
what the
okay,
thing
everyone.
is? Hey, hold on. You know what the thing is with Andy Murray is that when he wins, he's British. But when he loses, he's Scottish. Yes. I just want to do that. Let's make it the last time that's ever said by anyone on the planet.
that would be great, but I don't think it will be.
Oh, come on, I'm asking you to join in, you
But
readers.
Frank,
If you
I
hear
just-
anyone say that, just smack them across the face.
I'd go further than that. I'd take them out.
No, but I don't want to go too
Frank,
far.
I do think that's quite arrogant of Andy.
I think
mean,
at
I
the
like
point-
Andy, don't get me wrong, but you can't say... It's a bit 30 years of hurt, isn't it?
Hang on, though.
It is a
you're
bit.
if you're designing your own logo, I'm not sure arrogance is tempered at that point. Like, you know...
I know, but why bring that up? Why bring up
Exactly.
that British tennis wasn't
It
any
was
good
all
till
a
he came
disaster
along?
until I came along.
I don't think you can do a bashful logo of yourself. That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
AM, or he can do something with that, couldn't he?
AM.
TV AM.
You could do AM. Andy Murray is a morning person.
Yeah.
I bet
Morning, because he gets up to go training. AM.
I get it.
Yeah.
Judy will have some ideas.
Well, it's too
Yeah.
late now, isn't it? It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
done. I remember
Sam.
when Brian Lara, do you know who Brian Lara is?
Yeah.
No,
Cricketer.
thanks for the tip.
He was,
work, really.
he was a fantastic West Indian batsman, and he played for the West Indies and he scored. No, I don't remember the exact, but it's something like 367, something like that. And it was the world record.
Someone will tell us.
It was a world record for Test runs, and so he was being sponsored by a jeans company at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Someone like Peppy or someone like that. So they decided to call the brand the Lara 367. So they called the jeans 367s after his score. And then he broke the all-time first-class record playing for Warwickshire. Unfortunately, he scored 501. It's really messed up the jeans company.
Wow.
Might be a precedent there. I
Yes.
tell you what I liked. I saw Sir Terry and Dame Helen, is it Lady Helen, sorry, Wogan, in the Royal Box.
Okay.
Did you?
But I was gutted because I missed Anna Wintour.
Oh,
I thought you
she
were gonna
was
say
there-
Seal. Seal was in there on one of the days.
Seal was in there.
He was
He
in
was
the
lucky
audience.
getting an invite.
He was fine.
I'm
when
not
it
being
got
funny,
rained
but
off.
Kiss
Not
from a
at all bothered.
Rose has been a few years since that single.
Does he
I
clap?
mean, what?
Does he clap? What?
How is he getting invites? Is Joe Dolce in the Royal Box as well? I mean, please.
Seal, that is interesting.
Dolce.
Well, you may as
I
well.
don't get invites. Surely I'm more current than Seal.
Current.
I think you might be more current than Seal.
That's
anyway.
that's what it says on my posters this year.
Yeah.
Frank Skinner, more current than Seal.
You've been looking for a Twitter biog, haven't you? That's what's kept you off the Twitter.
Well, maybe you don't want an invite, or invitation, as we should say, because invite is an American corruption, of course.
Oh,
but
is
maybe
it?
you don't want an invitation because Anna, she took a tumble on the stairs. How embarrassing. She had one of her falls,
Did
Frank,
she
and she is about
actually-
65
did she
now.
actually fall? She's 65. She looks great, Anna Winter.
She
She had a wobble.
she had a wobble, and what happened is she did one of those those semi-falls, when
Oh,
you
yes.
stumble and then you recover yourself, which I think are worse, because you get none
I
of the
know what you
sympathy,
mean.
but still the humiliation.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but you don't get
yeah.
the pain. 65. The bones are basically powder.
Yeah.
She had a lovely dress on, Anna.
Did you
Yes.
like it?
Oh, beautiful. Really?
nice.
She's hot to trot at 65, Anna Winter.
A lot of stomach rumbling going on with that one.
Because if Anna Winter nearly falls over, she sacks about 5 people.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Rusty Lee, she was in the Royal Box.
No.
You are...
Timmy Mallet.
Wouldn't it be brilliant?
Bross were there.
Wouldn't it if there was like a Willy Wonka, Frank, golden ticket to someone from yesteryear?
I got invited to Wimbledon once in my life.
Yeah.
You can tell when it was. I watched Martina Navratilova
Oh,
play.
yeah.
And I've never had a hint. I'm not asking for
Oldest Wimbledon finalist, Navratilova,
Is that right?
37.
Good stats.
But how do you get who qualifies?
What do you mean?
You mean on the celeb
invite.
list? Why are you asking us?
They always and they love it. They love a shot. It's like an audience with. They love
It
a
is.
shot of somebody famous in the.
Oh, they love it.
They really do.
Do you know they do? Someone was saying, one of the organisers was saying it's Middle Day tomorrow. She was going on about Middle Saturday or something.
right.
And I thought she was saying Middleton Day. I thought it's now actually called Middleton
Well, they
Day.
were there. Old Ma Middleton and the father.
Right.
The Middletons take full advantage of the old
I
freaks.
can't blame them. I can't blame them for
No, I would.
that. You know, they've worked for it.
Have they?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who else had a little fall though. Please
Not another.
indulge
I think
me.
they've got a fancy dress shoes company. Now I come to think of it.
Whilst we're on the subject of falls,
What about if you had parties
Yeah.
where you only the shoes were the fancy dress and the rest was normal?
Oh,
So you went in like gorilla feet or something like that.
Nice. Yeah.
Glass slippers.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on. The
oh,
fall.
I like that. I'd go Pilgrim, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
I like that with the big buckle
Oh, yes.
You know
of
what I'm
course.
saying?
Yes.
because it's iconic. That look.
You are.
Thank you very much. So
Right.
I also liked. There was a second fall this week, and that was Mariah Carey.
I saw that.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
see the video of it because there was an advert
Oh,
on the
no,
front.
was there?
Yeah. But, so I really wanted to see. I thought I really
Right.
enjoy this, and then there was something for a Pixar film, and I thought, no, I'm sorry.
She was on the boyfriend's yacht, Jamie Packer.
Yes, now, in a list of people it's hard to feel sorry for, number 73, the woman who falls on the steps on her billionaire boyfriend's yacht. I didn't...
On her £450 shoes.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see that picture and think, you know what, darling, I feel your pain.
No.
You just think, well, it's going to be damp on a yacht.
No, but I liked him because I liked that he didn't move a muscle. He didn't even, he had both arms because he was on a waiting sort of dinghy affair and he had both arms outstretched in the man at the cinema on the first date pose, waiting for her. And as she fell, all the staff ran to her aid. He didn't even move a hand, he didn't move his face, he didn't move a muscle.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's got people to do rescuing
I bet he
for
did
him.
move a hand. I bet there was a bit of him when she fell over. He absent-mindedly just checked his phone, thinking, "Oh, there's going to be a little delay here. I'll just have a little scroll through the emails and then back."
She's the person, someone was telling me there was a photo shoot with Mariah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she did this thing where she was chewing gum, and then when it came to the photo, the personal assistant held her hand out, and she just dropped the gum into her hand.
You're not meant to do that. Sorry, Charlie.
I suppose, And I think she was one of the ones that you had to face the other way or something.
Oh, really? One of those.
You know, I married her. I've told you that before.
You married her?
I married her.
You married Mariah Carey?
Yes.
And it didn't work out?
No, it was all right.
Oh.
I don't have any complaints.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Yeah, so poor old Mariah.
Yes,
you
well-
were telling us that you married her.
Yes, I married her. I played the part of a vicar on SMTV.
SMT?
And she married Dick.
Did
But
she?
I married them, if you know what I mean, because I was the
you
vicar.
performed the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've worked with them all.
You have worked with them
How
all.
did you find her?
She didn't she didn't rehearse or anything. But she knew all the lines. She's very professional, but she didn't mingle.
No.
But you know, she was an enormous star at the time. I have to say,
She's an enormous star now. What? What?
Well, that was one of the things. I mean, you couldn't help thinking when she fell.
Oh,
that
yeah.
She is.
Oh, yeah. Come
But
on.
when she went for the implants, you know, when he says, "Well, say when," and then he said, "Sorry, I said say." Yes, I heard. I heard you. Just carry on.
I love the idea that's how they do implants.
What, you
Just say when. Like you cover your glass.
Enough now.
Stop looking at me. Just carry on. Carry on.
We should say we don't know if she definitely has had them.
No, it could have been an infection, but. But, you know, you think, oh, great, I'll keep going. And then you get older, and, you know, life gets a bit more precarious.
Hey, could
Precarious.
save a life. Could save a life.
Oh, precarious.
Precarious, that's what
Frank,
they
that's
said.
the next album. Precarious.
Exactly.
Oh,
All her back catalogue, precarious.
Oh,
That'd
that'd be a good greatest hits,
Perfect.
wouldn't it?
Precarious, yeah.
Very clever.
She won't go for it, Frank.
No,
I
she
don't think
won't.
she even
She
listens
never
to
did.
it.
Even
hates-
during your
she hates
short-lived
it.
marriage, she wouldn't take your advice.
No, she hates upon. Oh, she hates angle.
I'll tell you what though, when she stumbled and fell and
Macy Gray.
I did think she might have brought it on herself because it said in the paper she was wearing killer heels. Well, if you wear killer heels, you're asking for trouble, aren't you? Those big wedges.
And there's a
Thank you for
warning.
getting it right. They weren't killer heels. They were corky wedges.
Corky wedges.
Yeah.
450
Corky
quid for
wedges.
shoes made
Yeah.
of cork.
Corky wedges.
Unbelievable. There's enough corks in our house that you could make a pair of them for about nothing. Well, the price of the glue.
How come there's corks in your house?
From the wine.
Oh.
The constant
Well, I
wine.
was pleased for her that she was wearing what I'm going to call the forgiving sarong.
Yes.
Because if you're going to take a tumble, make sure you've got a forgiving sarong on.
Yeah.
Please.
She always
The
looks
love
like
of
she's got
God.
very
She
soft
then-
skin, I think, Mariah.
She then changes into an unforgiving wetsuit at a point later.
No respect to her, though.
She did. And went
I
for a
mean,
swim
she
whilst she had her
must have-
sunglasses on. That
She
made
must
me
have to carry some weights to get to submerge.
Frank?
laugh. With the airbags. you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
You're never going to get precarious off the ground with talk
Oh,
like this.
precarious. Yeah,
Fight to her people.
handle with Carey. That
Nice.
could be another one.
She get to go with George Carey.
Jim Carrey. Peter
Oh,
Carey,
yeah.
the Booker Prize winner. There's loads of Careys when you think about
What
it.
about an album about the Careys?
Stop it! It just not saying anything now, it's just saying Carey.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I feel like we should go to Peppa Pig news. A new section of the show.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Lib Dem leadership contender Norman Lamb, me neither.
No, Norman Lamb, I think he's in Peppa Pig.
He should be. Really,
He's
should
one of
be.
the characters.
Yeah, why isn't he? He said that it wasn't out of bounds for characters on the popular programme to be homosexual. Discuss.
Whoa,
I'd like
that's
a
hospital pass.
I'd like 3,000
for that.
words by
Yeah.
Monday.
Oh, do we know? They're
I think.
Well, we
it's-
should say one of our dearest friends plays Mummy Pig. Frank, we should declare our interest.
should we say that? What
Yeah,
if there's
we're
children listening?
No, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous.
They had a pride march, I think, in Peppa Pig.
Did they?
I mean, it was lions.
Oh,
But
very
even
good.
so. No, I, apart from when they went to Buckingham Palace, I don't think there's any human beings in it.
Oh, probably
They,
not.
they,
Peppa
met, they
Pig.
met the Queen, who was voiced by Moana.
I like the fact that you're going through actual episodes in your memory now. I can
Sorry,
see
this
you
is Frank's
thinking.
version of the Friends, like the one where.
Yeah.
No, but they're all animals. So animals are a bit.
That's great when other people are going, do you remember that Seinfeld where you're going,
I was going-
how about when Peppa Pig went to Buckingham
Yeah, well,
Palace?
she went to Buckingham Palace. But do animals have a designated preference?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, some change,
Animals,
don't
they're
they?
not. I mean, we had a dog once.
I like the sound of this anecdote.
I mean, well, I have to tailor it
What?
somewhat. But you've heard the phrase scatter cushions. Well, they used to scatter when he came. He was, I mean, they're animals.
Yeah.
This is something Attenborough,
What was he mad for it?
Attenborough never dwells on, but the fact is...
No. There was,
Yes.
there was a lizard this week that was found to change its sexuality if it was hot enough.
They're all at it.
Yeah.
God, can we say sexuality this time of the morning?
course
Hold
you
on,
can.
let me check the...
Some of the things you say.
We can, as long as we don't say it too loudly.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That's according to the absolute...
I think it's a
Absolutely.
very good idea.
Yeah, me too. And Peppa Pig is perfect, actually, because
Peppa Pig is perfect. This could be the new Peter Piper Pig.
she previously got in trouble in the politically correct brigade because apparently a lot of kids refuse to wear their seatbelt because Peppa Pig doesn't. And so she drives around in the car and they were like, I'm not putting my seatbelt on because Peppa Pig doesn't. And so they
It's mainly
started,
Scottish kids, wasn't it?
they started putting Peppa in a seatbelt.
What about, I
believe.
went to a children's farm
Stop name dropping.
the other week. I mean, there was animals. But,
Probably get another email from that guy saying, I love it that Frank does normal things.
yeah, well, I went to this farm and there was a lady who showed us around.
You didn't say it's Roger Daltrey's farm.
And she said, I was with, it was a nursery trip, so there was it was me, and it was, let me get this right, 3 female members of staff, 12 moms,
Oh, lovely.
and 17 children.
And Seal.
And there was a
Mariah
seal.
Carey.
There was a seal, if I remember rightly.
Right.
Any other dads?
No dads.
Oh, you filthy creep.
But anyway,
Legend.
we got to the pig enclosure, and the lady showing us round. She said, "Right, children. Now, why do we keep pigs? Do you think? What do we get from pigs?" And I thought, where's this going to go? First of all, she said, "Now, look, this pig is chewing stones, and that's how it cleans its teeth." And I didn't
That's
know
like you,
that.
Frank.
But I thought, do I want to tell children this?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
chew stones, but I thought it's fine. But then she says, so what do we use pigs for? And she was lovely, and really, I learnt a lot. I had no idea that reindeer's feet make a noise so they can find each other in a snowstorm.
Oh,
So knew what of me.
good info. Good info, that.
But she said, so why do we keep pigs? Do you think? Why do people keep pigs? And I thought, she's not going to... she said, just bacon,
Yum.
sausage. And I thought, we're trying... That's a link we're trying... When I say link, it wasn't a sausage joke. We're trying to not, hammer that home at the moment.
Why?
So because...
I like hammer.
Honestly, they just drop off me like windfall fruit, the ponds. I can't stop it. Yeah, but because I don't want him to think that we're the sort of people who would sanction the killing of animals for food.
Well,
I mean, we are.
Sorry
Yeah.
about the society he's been born into then.
I know, but,
Absolute Radio, everyone.
Yes. We discuss homosexuality and vegetarianism in the same link. What do you mean, fired?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This Peppa Pig thing, I think is to be encouraged because I've got to be honest, I think the gay relationships seem a bit less fraught on the whole.
fraught.
Everyone wants the same thing, don't they?
Yeah.
And there's no one saying, it's fine. You'd never hear that again.
What, in a passive-aggressive way?
Or with the
It's
male,
fine.
female,
Kind of-
yeah.
I don't know. It's possible to idealise these things from the outside. I imagine the falling out can be just as bad.
Yeah. Interesting.
Perhaps if
Taking a
there's any,
sage tone now.
gay people listening, perhaps you can give
Yeah,
us some...
you can tell us.
Yeah.
What about, I had an idea though, Frank. If you had the Peppa Pig, they could have the dating app, call it Grindr.
Oh, very good.
You like that?
That's
I like that.
excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent.
And maybe because it's a cartoon, Peppa Pig could say, I'm gay, let's just draw a line under it. draw a line under it. You know,
Yeah.
'cause we could do loads of cartoon and pun-based stuff.
Well, we
Pig.
could.
Sorry, was I a little
No,
rash? Was I a little rash?
Oh, my
Rasher?
goodness me. There is a character called Miss Rabbit
Uh-oh.
Oh,
who drives...
I'm worried about where this is going.
She drives a bus,
yeah.
she drives a rescue helicopter, and she operates the car crushing machine.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying that's hard and fast, but I mean, there's a suggestion that Miss Rabbit lives an independent life.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I mean, it's her business,
Yeah?
but I'm saying she is in the programme. They don't have to. They have to be out. Is that what Lammy said? That they had to be out, Lamo?
Lammy?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
Guess what we haven't discussed?
it's a great show. Can I say
Is
that?
it?
It is.
Peppa Pig.
I'll
Can
tell
you get me the box set?
You watch it and you think after a bit, you think there is something really pleasurable about watching it.
Is there a particular season you could recommend to me?
Well, they overlap quite a bit.
Oh, do they?
What?
But there's a few. I really like the one when Miss Rabbit is driving the train and the train breaks down and they have to put it in Grandpa Pig's. Well, it's not. She calls it a toy train, but it's it's a.
Oh, I love
not.
that.
It's
That one sounds great. Is that the best one
ornamental.
to get me started?
Well, it's a place. I mean, they all work pretty well. The one with the dancing fruits. That's Hold on a minute.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Got a couple of bits of closure on things that we've put out there
Okay.
earlier in the show. The engraved part on a shotgun is called a receiver from Andy in Huddersfield.
Wow, didn't
Good
know
info. And hi team, hopefully someone hasn't already answered this. I'm listening on 90s. The reason Pat Cash had his fingernails painted was for every game Marcus Bagdatis, I don't know how to spell his last name, sorry, won. So every game that he won, he painted his nail.
Oh, I see.
So it's, yeah.
Oh God, I hate those things when people say, "Oh, if we do this, I'll
It's a bit of
shave my
info.
head." Oh,
He looks good,
info.
though, the Cashmeister.
Yeah, he does. He looks all right.
he's always a handsome chap.
Yeah.
What about? Did you see Andy Murray throw his sweatband into the posh bit?
Into
I
the
know
crowd, yeah.
you could say every part of Wimbledon is the posh bit, but didn't he throw it to
Someone
the
wearing a hat.
the chairman of the All England Tennis Club? He threw it to him.
Yes,
Did
he
he?
did.
That's
and
the
then,
whole point of throwing stuff into
Yeah.
the crowd is that
A normal gets it.
yeah.
Yeah.
then he handed it to Camilla.
Well, he
Duchess
say he
of
handed
Cornwall.
it. I think it was like that woman that took the football shirt off that kid the other week. So, give that to me. I'm a member of the royal family.
I like she did the poshest thing ever when she received it, which is that she got out a fan.
Did she?
Yeah, as if it was very Victorian
As if it
reaction,
stank.
as if she was overwhelmed.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? You don't think she was just like, oh, this
Yeah.
honks?
Well, no, I watched the Andy Murray Haza game, and I doubt there was any sweat
Oh,
on
really?
that
Oh, really?
sweatband. It was one of the most one-sided games I've seen.
How is he world number 3? I mean, I know he's good for us, but that can't
He's
be
amazing.
right, is it?
I love the idea that
Andy Murray can't be number 3 in the whole world. He's British.
I am 77.
he is.
He's going to regret
Love
that.
that radio station.
He's really going to regret that when he's 77 in the world.
But,
Wouldn't it be great if
Well, the
Camilla
thing is,
wore it?
though, is that when he wins... Oh, no, sorry. I think we've closed that joke for him.
It would be nice if Camilla wore that, though, rather than it being one of those gifts that just gets put on the side. If she actually... If forever now you saw her with her normal clothes on, but with an Andy Murray sweatband...
Well, it was a big sweatband. I thought he
And
had
in, like-
double
Yeah.
casts.
And in, 30
Yeah.
years' time, they could be doing those... You know those stories that they do about Princess... what's her name? Wearing
Princess
that dress
Anne.
again. Princess Anne. She wore a dress that was 35 years old. Daily Mail, 35 years' time. Camilla wears sweatband again. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be nice?
It was. She could
Well,
wear it
she-
like a roll neck jumper.
Well, she
Although, of
pocketed
course-
it. It was in her bag, Andy said.
Pocketed it.
Girlfriend's so going to put that on eBay.
But the posh at Wimbledon...
Prince Andrew would have had it on eBay in a trice.
Here he comes.
Here he is! Thank you so much for listening, and if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out!
The Frank Skinner Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.